Have you ever felt like you can't take a break? That slowing down or letting someone in might jeopardize everything you've worked for? If so, you may be under the influence of the warrior archetype. In this video, I'll explain why entrepreneurs who over-identify with the warrior often struggle to rest and connect. At the root of these challenges is an unconscious belief in separation from others, from the universe, and even from our own true selves. Stick around to learn how you can break free from this pattern and bring balance to the warrior's fire. Hi, I'm Jose De Castro, and I help spiritual entrepreneurs get unstuck by helping them reconnect to their authentic selves. If that resonates with you, be sure to hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Before we dive into the struggles of the warrior, let me briefly recap what archetypes are and how they shape our lives. Archetypes are universal patterns of energy and behavior that live in our unconscious and influence how we see and act in the world. Carl Jung identified these archetypes as central forces that help us understand ourselves more deeply. The warrior, which corresponds to the element of fire, is the energy of action, courage, and discipline. Fire represents transformation, passion, and the ability to push through challenges, making the warrior indispensable for entrepreneurs and leaders. When balanced, the warrior gives us the drive to take action, the focus to overcome obstacles, and the resilience to keep going in the face of setbacks. But when we over-identify with this archetype, it creates significant challenges, particularly an inability to rest and connect. Let's take a closer look at the root of these struggles. At the heart of the warrior's challenges lies an unconscious belief in separation consciousness. What does this mean? Separation consciousness is the false perception that we are separate from ourselves and from others and the universe or divinity. First, let's explore separation from the universe. When you believe that the universe isn't supporting you, it feels like everything depends on your personal effort. This creates a compulsion to act, to fight, to stay in motion, because resting feels like giving up control. There's no trust in providence, no sense of surrender to a greater flow. Next, there's separation from others. The warrior archetype often sees vulnerability as weakness. Relationships can feel like distractions or even threats to independence. This leads to emotional disconnection and the inability to form deep, meaningful bonds, as the warrior sees others as obstacles or competitors rather than allies. Finally, there's separation from the true self. Over-identification with the ego, which is the false self, keeps the warrior stuck in a cycle of striving and proving. The ego is rooted in the illusion of individuality and separateness, believing that self-worth comes from achievements, status, or control. But the true self, consciousness itself, is the underlying unity of all phenomena. It recognizes that we are inherently connected to everything around us and supported by the universe. This over-identification with the ego, combined with the belief in separation, creates a life driven by fear. Fear of failure, fear of losing control, and fear of being vulnerable. These fears block the warrior from resting and connecting because both require letting go of control and trusting in the deeper unity of existence. Now that we've uncovered the root of these challenges, let's explore how they show up in the warrior's life. First, there's the struggle to rest. Rest requires trust. Trust that the universe will provide, that life won't fall apart if you step back, and that you are enough even when you're not doing. For the warrior, rest feels unsafe because it challenges their deeply ingrained belief that success and survival depend entirely on their effort. Another challenge that comes with over-identification with the warrior archetype is difficulty connecting. The warrior often resists connection because it requires vulnerability, admitting that they can't do it all alone. Emotional openness feels like surrendering control, which clashes with the warrior's need to stay strong and self-reliant. Finally, there's the tendency towards constant striving. The warrior's attachment to the ego creates an insatiable need for achievement. They believe their worth is tied to what they accomplish, so they stay locked in a cycle of relentless action, unable to relax or enjoy the present moment. So how do we bring balance to the warrior archetype? To overcome these challenges, we need to integrate qualities from the other archetypes and their corresponding elements. This includes grounding from the parent, which corresponds to the earth element, connection and flow from the lover corresponding to water, and trust in the divine from the mystic, which corresponds to air. One way to start bringing balance to an over-identification with the warrior is to ground yourself in trust and rest. The parent archetype teaches nurturing and stability. Rest isn't a retreat, it's a foundation for sustainable growth. Ground yourself with practices like mindfulness, meditation, yoga, or spending time in nature to reconnect with the present moment. Trust that the universe supports you and that rest enhances rather than diminishes your productivity. Another way to bring balance to the warrior is to embrace connection and vulnerability. The lover archetype helps us open to emotional depth and connection. Practice being vulnerable with trusted people, sharing your feelings and experiences without fear of judgment. Relationships can be sources of strength, not distractions, and can allow you to feel supported rather than isolated. Another important step is to surrender to divine flow. The mystic archetype invites trust in the providence of the universe. Use visualization or affirmations to align with the belief that you are part of something greater. Surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means allowing space for the divine to work through you, trusting that you don't have to carry it all alone. It's also important to balance action with reflection. While the warrior's fire drives action, it needs the clarity of the mystic's air to stay aligned. Incorporate regular reflection through journaling to ensure your actions serve your higher purpose. Finally, set boundaries for yourself. The parent archetype also teaches discipline. Set boundaries around work hours and prioritize time for self-care. Commit to taking regular breaks even if it feels uncomfortable at first. By integrating these practices, you can bring balance to the warrior archetype. The warrior's power lies in its fire, but even fire needs boundaries to burn brightly without consuming everything in its path. Remember, true strength isn't about fighting every battle alone. It's about knowing when to act, when to rest, and when to let others in. Trust in the providence of the universe allows you to step out of separation consciousness and into alignment with your true self, consciousness itself, the unity underlying all things. Hey friend, if this resonates with you, I invite you to take my free Business Persona Archetype Quiz to discover your dominant archetype. The link is in the description. If you're ready to dive deeper into this work, book a free 15-minute discovery call with me to find out how I can help you uncover the unconscious blocks holding you back and integrate the energies that you need to thrive. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need to hear this. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights like this. Click here for another video. Click here for the full playlist of videos in the series on archetypes, and subscribe here for more content.